Yep. So we go on the road, and actually a great result to be able to go against another top 10 team, get a road point, and now we've put ourselves into a position where we're one game away from qualifying for NCAA tournament, but also potentially for the SEC tournament. It's a jumbled group right now as far as the standings go. You've got Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Georgia, and Tennessee, all in the top four. Then South Carolina is next from there, and then you've got ourselves and Auburn currently, which are tied for the last spot in the SEC tournament. Not all 16 teams get to go. Texas and Ole Miss and Missouri have been eliminated. We beat Missouri here on Thursday. So what has to happen for us is we have to win against Kentucky. Kentucky's has one of the best records in the country. They've done a wonderful job as far as beating some good teams in key times of the year. So they are comfortably into the tournament. And it's kind of it's a championship game for us. I mean, we've been basically playing for our postseason life, so we've been in the playoffs now for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm proud of how our players have done. This is a team where we had to replace all 11 of 11 starters, and then we've lost a quarter of them to injuries. So to be able to come in and have it towards next woman up, to be able to go out and play against one of the toughest schedules in the country is to really be admired of what these women have been able to do, and I'm obviously proud of them, and I'm proud of my coaching staff for what they've been able to do to kind of scotch tape and toothbrush wires to put this thing together and keep it together and make it to where we are honestly one of the most difficult teams in the country to play against. South Carolina, who, like I said, number 8 in the country. The game last night in Columbia was their lowest expected goals of the entire season, with just a little over half a goal expected from them. So that's a lot to be said. Hayden Wilson is a sophomore transfer, one of our transfers. Sophomore, played at Oregon State last year as a starter as a freshman. She's been injured all season. We got her back. She's strapped together with a big old arm brace, but she was able to play all 90 minutes last night. Did a wonderful job in there. We had other chances that were razor thin as far as being able to win the game. And again, it's one of the things that we talk about with our players is that. And I said before the match, I took a quote from Harry Maguire, who has been the captain for Manchester United in the past. They went into Anfield at Liverpool, which had been talked about as an impenetrable fortress, much like the place that we had to go last night. And United go in and get a 2-1 win, the first time they had won in almost 10 years. And his quote afterwards was, "Football is made for memories, and it's the memories that you make with your teammates that you will remember for the rest of your lives." And that was a bit of our rallying cry, not just because I have some Liverpool fans on my coaching staff, but because opportunity to for our players to understand that it's big games like this that they come through and they overcome adversity, that they can go out and these are things that they will remember. These are common threads with this new team that they're on to take us forward and know that we can take on tough challenges like we have this Sunday.
We'll start with row 2, Alex.
First of all, you mentioned the potential tiebreakers that could come. If there was a 3-way between you, Auburn, and Florida, do you know how that would shake out? Have y'all looked at that?
Yeah, it has something to do with native and South American chickens that you have to be able to, the feet that you've got to be able to throw. But it comes down to really, if Auburn wins, they'll have 11 points. If Florida loses, they'll have 11 points. If we win, we'll have 11 points. So the first tiebreaker would be to take the 3 teams and compare them against common opponents. Auburn would win that tiebreaker. So as I understand it, Auburn would then become the number 11 team in the tournament, and then the comparison would be just us against Florida. And again, with a win over Kentucky, if that can happen for us, that would be one of the key factors that would put us over Florida to get in. But at the moment, Florida's in, and we are tied with Auburn.
And then along those lines too, if you beat Kentucky, like you said, you'll be at 500. Do you think that would be enough even if you didn't get into the SEC tournament, or do you feel like you do need to go to the SEC tournament and win a game or two there to bolster your resume?
Our resume is so strong right now as far as the games that we've been able to play against some of the teams that are going to be seeded. You know, the number of top 10 teams that we've taken to the wire tied or with a win over Kentucky, it would be another top 50 win, which would be another feather in our cap. So that'll be up to a committee to decide. If we don't get it in the SEC tournament, which is again, there's so many factors that could go into it. It really comes down to us. The good thing for us is that they have taken this game, and instead of playing it on our usual Thursday or Friday night, they've moved it to the back of the weekend on Sunday, they being the conference, and that's because this Wednesday it would be the makeup day if there was a game was hurricaned out or something along those lines, which can happen in the fall in the South. So no games, everyone played all their games, so it makes it to where we have a real week for, number one, recovery today, a little bit of recovery tomorrow, and then we can turn all of our focus on what we've got to do to be as good as possible for a 4:00 game on Sunday.
And we'll go to Travis row one.
Hey, Coach, with it kind of being a one-game winner-take-all kind of playoff, does it change the way you look at tactics? Is there maybe a little more go for broke mentality, or do you stick with plan A as plan A?
Well, I mean, again, we are who we are right now, and with a full roster, we can do a lot more than we can do right now. But the good news for us is that we're at home, we're at Ellis Field, we're in front of the 12th man. It's a national television game. All these opportunities are in front of us, and we've been going through some of these scenarios already. Like, okay, if we fall behind, what are we going to do next? If they adjust to do this, then what's our chess moves before it gets into? It's kind of the Princess Bride. I know you know that I know that you know that I know that I know that you know, and getting those things right to make sure that we just give our players the best chance they can to win. And again, we've been so close. We've played so many one-goal games here or there that have gone pro or con against us. That we're used to this. This is something we've been doing now for quite a while, just trying to get our feet underneath us so that we can get out and play. We've been without Leah Diaz, our captain, for the past several games. We think that she probably will be healthy enough to play for this one. That'll help us out quite a bit.
And to that measure, you mentioned having that time off before the tournament. Do you feel like if y'all were to get in the tournament, you'd have a little bit more of a roster to pick from?
Well, no. I mean, I think getting Diaz back would be a big boost for us. Everyone else, we've got a couple players going in for knee surgery. We're getting a 2-for-1, I hope, down at Houston Methodist, with two of our players having to go in for surgery on Wednesday. We've got another one who's recovering from surgery already, and then we've got a couple others that are on the mend, but probably not in time for the SEC tournament.
All right, we'll go the other side, row three.
You mentioned South Carolina's expected goal stats. How much do you guys as a staff lean on some of those kind of more advanced, like analytic, predictive type of stats like that?
Well, we look at a lot of the data that comes from ourselves mostly, because we don't really have control over what other people are doing, because we don't know who they're playing and what the other teams are trying to do that could be different from us. But it does give trends. It's a good way to see what people have been able to accomplish where maybe one team has struggled or one player has struggled, and so we dive into that as much as we possibly can, and we do have only recently University finally signed off on some paperwork that was supposed to have been done in the preseason that we got for the last 3 games of the season, so that allowed us to get this data now that has really helped us out.
And then how difficult can it be relying on a tiebreaker to make sure you guys as a staff kind of shut out the outside noise and kind of focus the girls on this specific game and what you guys can control?
Well, like I said, the biggest thing about this is we've been here already. This is where we've been living for about the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I know coming into the last 3 games, I told the players, I said, number one, we can't lose any more games. That's just the fact. And if we win all 3, then you're comfortably into the NCAA tournament, probably as a seeded team, and you're obviously comfortably into the beach at Pensacola. If we win 1 game and don't win the other 2, we tied the other 2, then that probably doesn't help us the way we need it to. Then we have to depend on a lot of other people. Same thing if we tie 1 and win 2, we still have to depend on some other things. So 2021, we've had 2 seasons that we got really ravaged by some stuff, and it came down to, I think, tiebreakers. I think 2021, I think we went to the 3rd or 4th tiebreaker, and we're the last team left out. And so, then in 2023, we bounced back. We went to the semifinal, and we're just a whisker away from going to another championship game. And then last year, we kind of got nicked by just not being able to score enough goals at the end of the season. So that's the experience that the players who were with us last year have, and it's a bad taste they want to try to get out of their system.
And we got Rob in row 4.
Howdy, Coach.
Howdy.
Going back to the Missouri game, you guys were kind of controlling it, had some really close opportunities, but then suffer a devastating penalty kick right before the half. Girls could have hung their heads, but instead they came out, battled, and got that win. Just talk about the resiliency of those girls, and then also there was a little deal at the huddle before where they were all holding a rope. I don't know if you can share kind of what that meant and the story behind that.
Sure. So yeah, the fact that the referee stopped the game and went to check instant replay to see if they could find a way to have a penalty kick against us with just a stopped clock that doesn't stop in soccer with 2 seconds left. That was a bit of a blow psychologically. So then we went into the locker room just a little bit down, and actually when we came out in the second half, Mizzou came out guns a-blazing. All of a sudden they had new life, and we had to kind of weather the storm for about the first 10 minutes of the second half before we got the game back under control and were able to kind of turn it back in our favor and finally get the winning goal there in the second half. Holding the rope is a story that goes back, that is about, if you have, think of your friends that you are hanging from a cliff and you are holding on to a rope to try to stay up and survive, and you need your most trusted friend or trusted teammate or trusted confidant to be able to hold that rope. Who do you want to hold that rope up for you, and who do you think would not be, capable of saving your life? And for our players, it's a matter of, all of them can depend on each other. And the players who couldn't play, their responsibility was to make sure that they were there for their teammates and to kind of keep them up and keep them live. And that's where we've been now the last couple of games is, who's going to hold the rope for you, and who are you going to hold the rope for?
And we'll wrap it up with row 5.
What are some emotions knowing that it could be the last time some of the seniors are suiting up at Ellis Field, and that emotions for senior night?
Well, a little bit different this year, I think, with senior night than kind of in the past, because we only have 3 seniors on this team. It's a very young team, and it's a team that half the team has come in through the transfer portal. So you look at our 3 seniors. You've got Leah Pirro, who is literally the senior kind of conscience of the team. Leah started at the University of San Diego, transferred to Grand Canyon, had a great career at Grand Canyon, and then has been with us for now the last couple of years, and has really been a wonderful part of our program. Eloise Deschanel is the only one of the seniors who's been here for the full 4 years, and she comes from a proud Aggie family. She played at IMG, grew up on the East Coast, but always had Aggie roots with her grandparents being around here, and her dad being an Aggie. So it's been a really neat thing having her. She's one of the best teammates that we've ever had on this team. As far as someone you talk about who would hold the rope, Eloise would do that for anybody. And then finally, Bella Yakel, who's one of our two captains, she's only here for 1 year. She's from California, but played her first 3 years at the University of Portland. Was a fantastic player up there. Portland is a storied program, has won national championships. As a matter of fact, won a national championship here at Ellis Field when we hosted the College Cup back in 2003, I believe. She didn't play on the team at that time, but she has been our most steady, dependable, greatest defender that we've had in a long, long time. And we've had some fantastic defenders, players who are playing at the next level. But Bella Yakel has been absolutely rock solid. She's played every second of every game this year, and we wouldn't have survived without her. So those are three really, really special young women, and it's always emotional for me on those last games, because it's I've seen a lot of these kids since they were little kids, and some of them we've only known, like Bella, for the last year or so. So it's always a neat deal to have that. It'd be great to have their parents here and their family here to celebrate their great college careers and the great futures that all three of them have in front of them. All right. Thank you very much. Again, 6 o'clock on Wednesday is Aggie Soccer Hour right before Mike's show at 8 o'clock. Look forward to seeing you all. Thank you.